So for the first part of this project, I'm going to be removing the pallet boards that I want to use to make this table that you're going to see today. It is very important that you watch your body mechanics. This is hard to do. You have to use a crowbar to help pry up the nails and try not to damage the board any more than you have to. So here is the pallet with some of the boards removed. And do you see what I see? I'm going to zoom in here. Do you see what I see? I see legs for a table. Yay! Love how that works out that way. So I am just removing other boards off of the pallet. So now I am filling a tote full of water so that I can begin the hydro dip process of the pallet boards. So you just start spray painting the top of the water, multiple colors that you want to use for your hydro dip, as you can see that I'm doing here. So for this particular table that I am making today, I want to have the table primarily gray with a little bit of blues and kind of an orangey peach color in there and maybe a slight bit of purple. So I am slowly dipping the board in so that the paint will adhere to the board and you quickly remove the board from the water. I really love one-of-a-kind pieces, and with this hydro dip technique, there really is no way to replicate and get the exact layering of the paint on the wood. Each piece is going to be unique and different, and I want to share with you some other boards of the pallet boards that I have hydro dipped for other projects, just so that you can kind of see the technique. And it's super cool how the paint just creeps up onto the pallet board. A lot of fun. So if you have to re-dip it, that's okay. You just play around with it until you get it how you want it. I really love this piece. So I am reinforcing the legs that I used from the pallet board with some wood screws. So I am just using the drill bit to make the holes in the wood so that the screws will go in fairly well. Screws in next. So next I am putting a piece of pallet board that I have cut with my circular saw between the two sides, or the two table leg sides, to complete the table. As you can see with my clamps, I did wood glue this into place before placing in the screws. Now I am doing the other side of the exterior of the table with reinforcing it with screws. And I'm not taking out the nails that are there. I want to keep those there as I feel like it gives this table a lot of character. So here it is. We have the base now of the table. So the two sides that were already nailed together on the pallet that we used as legs, and then I added the two boards to put the table together to make a complete base for a table. Wood looks rough, but it's gonna give it character. Sanding time, and I've got my Black & Decker sander, so here we go. So I just have some 80 grit sandpaper on my sander, and I'm just going to go around the table to get it fairly smooth. It doesn't have to be perfect because this piece is going to be a rustic piece. The unevenness and the defects in the wood, the pallet board wood, is actually what's going to give this piece character. That's actually what I like about it. And of course, I'm pointing out the splinters there, and we don't want that. We don't want anybody to get hurt, so I will definitely sand that smooth. Playing my air guitar sander because there's more sanding to do. Woo! It's looking good. I'm getting super excited. Look at it, it's all sanded. Spray painting time. So I am going to be using this light gray spray paint to spray paint the base of the table that we just put together using the pallet boards from the pallet and part of the connected pallet board for the legs. Spray paint dance time. Woo! I love that I have plenty of room in my garage so I can do my dance moves when I want to. So now I am taking the pieces that I hydro dipped and measuring them for the appropriate size for the top of the table. So now I am using my circular saw to cut the board that is the correct size for the tabletop, and then using it as a template to make the cuts for the other two boards that will complete the tabletop. We've got the power! Now sanding the edges of the board really well where I just cut it. Looking good. I love it when things start coming together. Come together right now. So this is going to be the layout of the boards I just cut with my circular saw that have been hydro dipped. This is going to be a really cool table. I'm excited. Putting down the wood glue now so that I can adhere the boards and clamp them down to dry. And now to glue down the middle board. Making sure to line it up pretty evenly with the other boards. I'm going ahead now and making the drill holes for the two boards that I have already put wood glue on and clamped down for the screws to be placed in to keep the tabletop steady. So now I am putting the wood glue down for the placement of the third board on the top of the table. Now I have been working on projects all week, not much sleep, and as I'm doing this, at the time, I don't realize that I put the board upside down. So I know it's kind of funny, we all make mistakes, but the board is being adhered upside down, and at the time, I don't even realize it. Oh boy. Just clamping her down, not even aware that it is upside down this whole time. And as I'm drilling the holes, I'm still not aware that it's upside down. Oh my God. Then it hits me.
Oh no! I can't believe I did that! Too many late nights.
My next issue that came up is when I put the wood screw in, it would only go in so far. Ugh. So now, as you can see, it is not going all the way in, and now I'm going to take it back out. I have this Dawn dishwashing soap, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it. This is a trick that a friend of mine told me, and that is to just turn the screw through the liquid soap, and then when you go to drill it in, it will drill completely or screw completely down into the wood. Thanks, Rob. We will soap up this next wood screw too. Love it, love that trick. Okay, so now to fix my mess up. Yes, I wanted all the boards hydro dipped, and this one does have some hydro dip on it, but I was not gonna unglue it. I'm just gonna take a little spray paint with the colors that I used for the hydro dip and just spray it on the area that doesn't have the hydro dip to cover it up, and just layer the spray paint a little bit to give it like a tie-dye type feel. And now to spray it with a little bit of the blue color. Thank goodness I'm the spray paint queen, because I have got a garage full of cans of spray paint. Woo! Okay, now before I continue to fix the top of the table where I spray painted it, because that's not exactly the way I want it, I am going to do an acrylic painting on the edges of the tabletop boards that do not have the dip on them, because I had dipped them before I had cut them. So we're going to make do again. We're going to use some orange and some blue, and we're going to dab it on the edges of the table with our finger to finish the edges, to give it that finished look. As you can see on this side of the table, these are the two edges of the boards that we have to paint with the acrylic paint to blend it in with the hydro dip. So as you can see, I have the two colors, the orange and the blue, in a little plastic cup, and I have some gloves on. I'm just taking my finger and dabbing first the orange color onto the side of the boards that are not painted at the edge, and dabbing those on just in intermittent places, no rhyme or reason, just where I feel like doing so. And then I'm taking the blue and kind of going in between those areas to cover the wood as well. And as the blue and orange colors mix, you get a little bit of this gray, which is perfect, so that all just looks like it's a continuation on the board. Turning the table around, and on this side I only have the one edge of this board to do. Okay, and now to do a sort of fake hydro dip using acrylic paint that I'm going to do on top of the table on that one board that I placed on the table upside down. I am using this peach color acrylic paint and mixing it with a little water to water it down so it won't be too thick when I go to put the paint on the tabletop. It needs a little more paint and then it will be ready to go. So as you can see, this peach color is very close to the color of the spray paint that I used for the hydro dip, and therefore I chose this color to put on this board. Just putting little spots of the peach color acrylic paint just throughout this board. And now I'm going to use my hair dryer to fan the paint out so that it won't be too thick on the tabletop. It's kind of fun to watch the paint run away. Adding a little blue paint now. It's not the same color blue as what is on the table, but the reason I did a little darker color is because on this part of the board there is some blue spray paint spots that are that color. And now a little more peach color. Okay, so now I am done with the fanning of the paint with the hair dryer. Next, I am going to take my finger and just dab the periphery of the areas of acrylic paint that I put down just to soften the edges a bit. And I lie just a little more blow drying right here. I need a little more of this dark blue in some spots, and kind of where there's big divots in the wood, I'm kind of pouring it down in there so that is covered completely. A tad more blow drying. So this is what we have so far. So as you can see on the middle board there, the peachy color kind of has like a channel going through the board. So now I'm taking a toothpick and just kind of going around the periphery and on different parts of the board, just to kind of give it to some extent that kind of effect. And now I'm just going to put a little blue in some spots. I'm liking it. Just a little dab here. And there we have it. What a beachy and fun table this is going to be. So next I'm going to be putting a water-based polyurethane coating on top of the table to protect it. When you apply the coating, it does show a milky type finish, but it will dry clear. I am only putting this coating on the tabletop and of course the sides of the tabletop. So as I am applying this polyurethane water-based coating, I'm just thinking about how cool the table is, the boards. I like the nail holes that I didn't patch and I just kept them there. Just to give the table character. When I took the nails out of the pallet boards off of the pallet in the beginning, I just wanted to keep the naturalness of just the way the board was, and I think it's really turning out pretty cool. And even with my mess up, it looks pretty good. I am happy with it. I will be putting 2 to 3 coats of the water-based urethane on top of the table. Let's check it out. Let's see the finished product.
So you can wake up in the morning and have your favorite chair next to this awesome pallet table that you made. That's one of a kind. And for a lot of people, you can have your coffee.